Thank you. The final item of business is a members' business debate on motion 17145 in the name of Christine Graham on 30th anniversary of Echo Schools and Success for St Andrews RC Primary School in Gorebridge. The debate will be concluded without any questions being put, and I call on Christine Graham to open the debate. Up to 7 minutes, please.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. First, I'd like to thank all members who signed my motion allowing this debate to proceed, and those who are remaining behind and those who are to contribute. And while I refer to St Andrews RC in Gorebridge, we will all have examples of eco schools, green flag schools in Scotland, and how important they are, because it is the young who will inherit this Scotland, this precious planet, so at risk from the activities of previous generations. Eco Schools is one of 5 programmes operated internationally by the Foundation for Environmental Education and delivered by Keep Scotland Beautiful in Scotland, and is the largest sustainable schools programme in the world, with 19.5 million children, young people and educators engaged worldwide in 74 different countries. The Green Flag Award is a visible indication of a school's commitment to learning for sustainability and is an internationally recognised accreditation for excellence in sustainable education. The Scottish Government funds and promotes Eco School Scotland as part of its education and sustainable strategy, and is seen as a leader in the Eco Schools initiative. St Andrews RC School previously earned the Green Flag Awards through the Eco Schools programme, and this year the school has established an Eco Squad comprising students from the nursery up to P6 and P7, under the auspices of class teacher Mrs Valentine, focusing on 2 key areas. These are caring for the earth, for example, using donated trees to regenerate existing woodland within the school grounds, creating a dedicated outdoor learning space, and supporting the less fortunate, collecting and cleaning crisp packets, which are then sent to a homeless charity where they are repurposed into blankets for those in need. I have no idea how you repurpose a crisp packet into a blanket, and I'll need to find out. I haven't Googled it, so maybe it's there. Earlier this year, in partnership with Garden for Life Forum, nursery and school pupils aged 3 to 18 were invited to design a miniature pocket-sized garden, which included food for people, was good for wildlife, and reused something. More than 130 entries from 18 local authorities areas were submitted, representing the work of whole classes and schools, all demonstrating fantastic imagination and creatively linked to the 2025 Our Heritage theme. The designers of the 32 winning entries have now been invited to build and grow their garden at school before filming or photographing it, to be displayed as part of an online garden showcase in June, where people will be able to vote for their favourite. The winning designs will be turned into real mini gardens. Adding to that Green Flag Award, 2 Midlothian schools are already selected into that competition. You have to get selected to get into this competition. You just can't go into it. To design the perfect pocket gardens, St David RC in Dalkeith and St Andrews RC Primary in Gorebridge, with their garden designed, that is St Andrews one, Our Heritage mining garden, because of Gorebridge has a huge mining history. Indeed, in 2023, St Andrews RC had already won in the 2023 competition a certificate of recognition. That competition theme links to Eco School Scotland work on food and the environment, biodiversity, school grounds, climate action, health and well-being, and the new heritage topic. Preparation in this pocket garden competition can be part of their Green Flag application. Winners will be invited to display their pocket garden, not in their pockets, of course, they're not that small, in the online showcase where people across Scotland can enjoy it and vote for their favourite 3. Previously, the pocket gardens have been displayed at Gardening Scotland in Edinburgh, where they have been visited by the BBC Beechgrove Garden team and the Scottish Government Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change and Land Reform. All winners will also be judged for 3 discretionary awards: interpretation of the themes wildlife friendly, food for people. The garden needs to be photographed in the week beginning 26th of May 2025, when it should look at its best, without pesticides, fungicides, peat-free and using renewables. And they are truly pocket-sized, with a rectangular footprint of 120 centimetres by 100 centimetres, or in old money, which I need to talk in, 3 feet by 11 feet. So that really is a pocket-sized garden, and it can be any shape, reusing any material to create the garden. Really imaginative. I might have a go myself. I'll not do it in the competition, that would be unfair, but what a challenge for us to try it. Now, I look forward to seeing these imaginative entries which engage children to keep Scotland not just beautiful, which it is, but contributing to the sustainability of the planet. So I say good luck to St Andrews and St David's, and I hope you'll give them their vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Graham. We now move to the open debate. I call Emma Harper to be followed by Craig Coy. Up to 4 minutes, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I wasn't intending to speak this afternoon, but in reading about the Eco Schools programme, I thought I would just basically push my button. So I thank Christine Graham for bringing this debate to Chamber today. She has set out very well the Eco Schools Sustainable School programme and celebrated St Andrews RC Primary School in Gorebridge in her constituency. I've had the opportunity to learn about the Global Eco Schools programme, and I'm pleased to highlight some of the schools in Dumfries and Galloway. Lockerbie Academy is participating, and Shawhead Primary School are another example that are involved in the Eco Schools programme. Georgetown Primary won awards last year for its climate action project, where they invited one of the local slow fashion movement proponents from Dumfries, Marie McKinnon, into the school to talk about fast fashion and how everybody's into disposable clothing, and instead of promoting a more reusable type of clothing, they had a fashion show in the school, and that spurred on the children to take action to be more sustainable in the clothes that they were choosing and that they were wearing as well. So that was one example that I learned about in preparation for this afternoon. Sure, I'll give way.
Finlay Carson.
I thank Emma Harper for giving way, and I'm sure she won't mind when I also join her in celebrating the success at schools in Dumfries and Galloway, including the school the nursery that my two go to, Johnson School in Kirkcudbright, but specifically about Shawhead Primary School, who won a special commendation for learning for sustainability, where they went above and beyond in all the categories required when it came to eco-schools, and that's to be set out specifically.
Emma Harper.
Absolutely great that Finlay Carson is on his feet celebrating the schools that we have that are participating in the Eco Schools programme. So well done. We do have some common ground, I know, across Chamber in some of our debates. There are 7 steps that are quite simple in the framework for the programme. And step 1 is to basically create an eco-committee where the young people lead with teacher support. Step 2 is to complete an environmental review, and this helps everyone know how eco-friendly their school is, where improvement can be made, for example. Step 3 is the biggest part. It is the creation of an action plan. This can be done over the whole year and aims to reduce the carbon footprint to make the school greener. So there's issues like toy swaps, creating bug hotels, planting vegetables, switching lights off in places that are not needed or where rooms are not occupied. Some of the action items can really be quite simple to take forward. Step 4 is to link the environmental work into the school curriculum across the year so that it can then be embedded as part of what we need to do to protect our planet. Step 5 involves the others in protecting the planet, so collaboration, so with school events, with stalls in the community, with family and friends as well. Step 6 requires the Eco Committee to monitor and evaluate their actions, and the monitoring and evaluating helps understand and demonstrate the difference, that the impact that has been made as well. And this can be done before and after with pictures or graphs or charts, Presiding Officer. And step 7 is the final step, and that's the Eco Code. This is about creating creating a mission statement and letting the world know about the schools or the pupils' commitment to protecting their planet. All of this good work can be uploaded into the EcoSchools portal between May 1st and July 31st, so that a potential for a Green Flag Award can be made. And this is where the flag can be flown at the school, letting everyone know of the school's commitment to the planet. I've learned a lot in preparation for this debate, and I will pick up with the local schools that I've mentioned to learn more about their progress and congratulate them on their efforts and participating in the EcoSchools project to protect our planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Harper. I now call Craig Hoy to be followed by Faisal Chowdhury. Up to 4 minutes.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. And I'm pleased to support this motion today and to speak to it, and also to commend St Andrews Primary in Gorebridge for their engagement in the Eco Schools programme. I'd also like to take this opportunity to commend Keep Scotland Beautiful for the work that they do right across the south of Scotland, from East Lothian to the borders and into Dumfries and Galloway. Keep Scotland Beautiful has helped communities, businesses and councils clean up our towns and villages and to protect vital green spaces. Last year, I think of the Medium Town Trophy, which was won by Blooming Haddington, and the Large Village Trophy, which was won by Elston in Bloom in the Scottish Borders. And reflecting on the motion before us, I had the real pleasure to attend St Andrews several years ago and was impressed with the school and the children, one of which 4-year-old Jude Davey won my Christmas card competition that year. Now, I visit a lot of schools, as everyone in this chamber does, and when I don't visit schools, I enjoy when schools visit this Parliament, where I enjoy joshing with Christine Graham when schools from our respective regions visit. And when I attended St Andrews RC Nursery, I found it to be a happy and creative school, and I'm thrilled to be in this debate today to learn more about their engagement with the Eco Schools programme. And I think that it's very important that everybody remembers that Scotland is a beautiful place and that we do need to do more to preserve and defend its ecology, and that is collectively is important to support work that is being done, for example, by the Eco Schools programme and by Keep Scotland Beautiful. And I think it is important that these initiatives do go into our schools with programmes such as the Eco Schools programme. And it was interesting to learn, as Christine Graham said, that 19.5 million children across 74 countries are engaged in this programme. And looking across the south of Scotland, it was also interesting to find out that Lockerbie Academy was one of the first schools in the south of Scotland to secure the Eco School status when it secured it in 2014. These initiatives are very important in promoting to training and mobilising young people and volunteers, not just to learn more about the ecology of Scotland, but also to engage in initiatives such as litter picks and to look after green local spaces. And I, like Christine Graham, will be going away after this to try and find out how you can indeed make a blanket out of crisp packets. And given the number of crisps I suspect I could probably stitch together several blankets. But obviously, Keep Scotland Beautiful is involved in a number of initiatives across the south of Scotland, including, for example, in prisons. His Majesty's Prison in Dumfries has a wellbeing garden that the charity has also rated as outstanding. And this garden was established so that prisoners could come into the space, particularly people suffering from mental health or addiction issues. And this is exactly the kind of innovative and transformative projects that we would like to see right across the country, not just in our schools, but in other organisations and institutions as well. I think it is vitally important that we recognise not just the contribution of the Eco Schools programme, but also the work of Keep Scotland Beautiful. The south of Scotland region that I represent is beautiful, and it is important that we maintain it as such. And it's only through engagement such as this can we create the understanding and provide young people with the information so that they too can go on to support not just our local ecology, but also the beautiful green spaces that we have, but that take work to maintain. So therefore, the work of Keep Scotland Beautiful and the Eco Schools programme continues to do amazing work on the ground, and it is imperative that the government matches this efforts with policies and funding. And I will take an intervention.
Christine Graham.
Just to let you know, I've Googled, should perhaps have done it during the debate, but it says empty crisp packets can be repurposed into survival blankets by fusing them together using heat, creating a reflective layer that helps keep people warm. So there you are, Mr Hoy.
Craig Hoy.
Well, they say every day is a learning day, and I think the Education Secretary would obviously approve of the fact that I have now learned something in this chamber. The work of Keep Scotland Beautiful will unquestionably help make Scotland a cleaner and greener place for everyone, and we all need to play our part. And I'm therefore pleased to have been able to support Christine Graham in this debate and look forward to visiting St Andrews School again, along with many schools in the south of Scotland that are undertaking engagement in this important initiative.
Thank you, Mr Hoy. And I call Faisal Chowdhury, who would be our last speaker in the open debate. Up to 4 minutes, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Firstly, I congratulate Christine Graham on securing this member's business and giving us a lesson on crisp packets or blankets. And I especially congratulate St Andrews Primary School on its commendation for learning in sustainable with the Eco Schools programme. It is a testament of their outstanding commitment to building a sustainable future and create global citizens. I also want to recognise the Eco team at St Andrews Primary, who I'm sure will be happy their hard work has paid off through receiving this commendation. As well as St Andrews in Gorbridge, I'm lucky enough to represent a region which has so many schools going above and beyond to protect the environment. Since younger generation will bear the brunt of climate change, it is our responsibility to equip them with the knowledge and skills to protect and cherish our environment. I saw this in action a few weeks ago when I joined my colleagues Sarah Boyack and Ash Regan in meeting inspiring young people, representing more than 30 schools at the Protect Our Future demonstration outside Parliament. They presented us with a paper chain with 6,000 handwritten messages from children across Scotland, demanding that we keep our promises on climate change and deliver for the younger generation. The paper chain is not only a symbol of unity in their demand, but a warning that if we do not keep our promises on climate change, the chain will break with our young people's futures. I was humbled and moved by this meeting, but also heartened that our young people are so well informed about the biggest issue we face as a society, making me more confident in our future. I have no doubt the Eco Schools programme, which celebrates its 30th anniversary this year, has played a large role in creating a generation of young people who understand the importance of the natural world. Since its launch, over 8,000 green flags have been awarded to Scottish schools. The programme has been expanded to include subjects like food and global citizenship, and is now running among schools in 79 countries. There are events planned to celebrate the anniversary with the Eco Schools Celebration Week in June, which will see the One Planet picnic where schools across the globe will celebrate their schools' achievements in promoting sustainability and act as a demonstration of the Act Local, Think Global, a mantra which is so important in tackling the climate emergency. But before that, I hope St Andrews Primary School in Gorbridge will be celebrating their well-deserved achievement in receiving this commendation. Thank you, Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr Chowdhury. I now call on Cabinet Secretary Jenny Gilruth to respond to the debate. Up to 7 minutes, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'd like to thank Christine Graham for lodging this motion and to colleagues from across the Chamber for what has been a very positive debate this evening. I did not know I was going to be learning about survival blankets made of crisp packets, so I want to put on the record my thanks to Christine Graham, and I'm sure that sentiment is shared by members. As a Cabinet Secretary for Education and Skills, I very much welcome the opportunity to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the International Eco Schools programme and the special commendation to St Andrews RC Primary School for their work on eco schools. I want to first begin by reflecting on the success of St Andrews RC Primary School, as we have heard from Ms Graham this evening. The school's success in the Eco Schools programme is really a testament to the commitment and the hard work of all the staff in the school to create that engaging and meaningful learning opportunities for their young people. And Christine Graham was right to say that our Eco Schools programme is about an investment in the next generation. It was good to hear about the work of the Eco Squad, directed by Ms Valentine, and the outdoor learning space that they have created. The miniature pocket-sized garden sounds like a fabulous initiative, quite challenging as well, I would imagine, but I'm very much looking forward to the online garden showcase, and as Ms Graham states, building on that success as an eco-school, a really imaginative project, and as Christine Graham rightly noted. And as we heard as well, I think, from Emma Harper about Lockerbie Academy and I think it was Georgetown Primary School. The member is nodding, so that is correct. It was fantastic to hear more about the slow fashion movement. I learned a little about that myself as Culture Minister in a previous role. But the challenge that slow fashion movement presents to the fast fashion approaches that we often see on the high streets today. Also in Dumfries and Galloway, we heard from Finlay Carson, I think on Shawhead Primary School, on learning for sustainability, and Mr Carson spoke to the really impressive work undertaken by the young people and their teachers. Emma Harper also spoke about the process involved in becoming an eco-school, which, as members will have heard this evening, is a challenging one and requires real commitment from staff and from young people alike. Craig Hoy mentioned quite rightly, though, the vital work of Keep Scotland Beautiful, and I repeat and I commend that sentiment this evening. We could not run the Eco Schools programme without Keep Scotland Beautiful, so I wanted to put that on the record as well tonight, Presiding Officer. He also spoke about St Andrews RC Nursery and the happy and welcoming environment that learning environment provides to young people there. And he also spoke, I think, about a Christmas card winner being selected from that nursery class. Is that correct? I see Mr Hoy, I think, nodding. But I do think that welcoming environment is always a testament to the staff and the support workers who exist in our schools. And again, I want to put on record my thanks to them for all that they do to help support and teach our young people every day. Yes, I'm happy to.
Craig Hoy.
Is the Minister aware that when either schools or councils face cash pressures, often it is initiatives such as this, where, for example, where councils provide free plants or access to their nurseries, I mean nurseries as in plant nurseries rather than education nurseries, that sometimes there are financial constraints upon councils that are affecting the rollout of these schemes. So will she continue to advocate in government for the relatively small but important amounts of funding that allow these projects to be delivered?
Cabinet Secretary.
I'm more than happy to give the member that undertaking. I recognise the point that he makes in that regard. I think we also heard from the member in relation to the broader celebrations that are planned in June, and I'm sure all MSPs, I think that was Faisal Chowdhury, apologies, Presiding Officer, who made that point, and I'm sure that all MSPs will use June as an opportunity to get out and support schools in their local constituencies and regions. I think we've heard from members much about the Eco Schools programme this evening, but as Christine Graham's motion recognises, the contribution of the Eco Schools programme more broadly across the last 30 years has been phenomenal, and I would like to now reflect on how far that work has come. Eco Schools was launched in the UK, Denmark and Germany back in 1994, with Scotland awarding our first green flag in 1995. And in the years since then, as I think we've heard this evening, the programme has helped to articulate what climate education means, and it has also helped to support teachers and translate this into their day-to-day practice in our schools. And in the years since 1994, pupils from all over Scotland have demonstrated that passion and interest in the themes that are covered in the Eco Schools programme. And our schools continue to engage with a really wide range of activities under the Eco Schools programme. That includes the Green Flag Award itself, the Climate Ready Classrooms programme, the Young Reporters for the Environment competition and live lessons delivered via our GLOW platform. And indeed, our schools are invited to take part in a further set of live lessons to mark the Natural Scotland Week between the 12th and 16th of May, marking the UN Decade for Ecosystem Restoration, and really exploring what we all can do to help protect and restore our natural heritage. Eco Schools has grown and developed in Scotland alongside our Curriculum for Excellence, a broad framework which empowers our teachers. Yes, I will do.
Christine Graham.
It links on to Curriculum for Excellence, because while we're talking about the importance of young children understanding about the environment sustainability, there are children who will not engage in the classroom in the same way, but once you get them outside in a garden or planting things, they begin to engage with life round about and express themselves, speak, become confident. So it's a winner all round.
Cabinet Secretary.
Ms Graham will not be surprised to hear that I agree with that sentiment. As a fellow former teacher, we know about the importance of outdoor learning in terms of increasing and improving attainment, and having that engagement with our young people is hugely important. I've observed it for myself in many schools across the country, and it really does help to support an enriched learning environment. Presiding Officer, I'm conscious of time, but I'm very proud in closing that Scotland was one of the first nations to embed learning for sustainability as an entitlement for all learners. And I'm pleased that Eco Schools continues to engage and to inspire our children and young people to take an interest in environmental and social issues and to deliver positive change through their own actions across their school community. Let me conclude once again by paying tribute to the achievements of the pupils and staff at St Andrews RC Primary School, and congratulations Keep Scotland Beautiful on the 30th year anniversary of the Eco Schools programme. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Cabinet Secretary. That concludes the debate, and I close this meeting.